How you doing? Good. Welcome back, everybody. We're on the line with Assemblyman Michael Blake from the 79th District, and we wanted to talk to him on some of the things, the tragedies that are happening in our community. Get his thoughts, let him weigh in. You know, he's joining us today to take his to hear his take on these events and the need to end the violence. Good morning, Assemblyman.
Good morning, Brother Lee. Always good to connect with you. I wish it was under better circumstances, but at least we're here.
Yes. Give us some of your thoughts on what's happening. You know, people are acting up all over the place. There's been shootings everywhere, and people are upset.
Look, I think first and foremost, our thoughts and prayers and reflections go out to the families, all the families, the Sterling family, the Castile family, the small family out in Brooklyn, and the family of the 5 that lost their lives in Dallas. Lives should never be lost under any circumstance. But we have to make sure that we are not losing sight of what is getting us here to this point, where in the black community it is consistently felt, especially amongst black men right now, you know, what to do. What are you to do when you are doing absolutely nothing wrong and you're still losing your life? And on the flip side, that does not make it an excuse and a reason to be taking life. I think what we have to make sure is that we, one, acknowledge what's happening, that 99% of officers are probably doing the right thing, 99% of citizens are doing the right thing, but we're saying on both sides that when someone does wrong, that they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law in order to provide justice. And let's make sure we're addressing the conditions on the ground first and foremost. Make sure that there's better schools, better jobs, better communities, so that people are not feeling lost in the first place, and then having real, true criminal justice reform, so we also provide that support as well.
Yes. Assemblyman, do we need new legislation? What should we do?
100%. You know, we have an executive action right now that the governor put into place so that the Attorney General will serve as a special prosecutor when this occurs. However, we need that to be statutory. We need that to become the law. We need our Senate Republican colleagues in New York State Senate to work with us to get that done. We need to make sure there's more transparency around grand jury reform. We need to make sure that we are working and pushing congressional Republicans to do the right thing, so that if someone is on a no-fly list, that they also cannot get a weapon. A semi-automatic doesn't make any sense if that's in the hands of someone. You know, we need to make sure that there is immediacy that happens, that if someone takes these actions, that they are put on temporary leave until the facts are examined. Yeah. So, yes, we have legislation that needs to occur. We need to take action in the community conversations as well. Yes. We are going to be hosting community conversations. We're working with the New Leaders Council, which is a national organization around this. We're going to be working with the American State Legislators for Gun Violence Prevention as well, and then get ready for a community conversation we'll probably be doing later on this Saturday for people to find out how they can get involved and what we're doing to create action. There has to be action, and things must turn around.
Yes. Is there any way we can create a better harmony between the community and the police department?
I think, you know, we first, when we recognize that there are officers that have been doing great work in the community to build those relationships. You look at, you know, Colazo and Tejado and Angel, you know, Rosari, you know, whether it be, you know, C.O. Ryan or O'Sullivan, you know, we know there are ones that have been engaging incredibly well in our community. But what we have to do is find the ways concretely. What are we doing to make sure that there's more training around cultural sensitivity and racial relations? What are we doing that there's more hiring of black and brown officers to be a part of the force so they can have that kind of engagement?
And Assemblyman, we applaud you for all the wonderful work that you're doing in the community. We always see you out there with your sleeves rolled up, doing some wonderful things, making appearances here and there. And I get all of your emails, so I know everything that you're doing, all the beautiful work that you've done. We thank you for your service. Finally, do you have a message that you would like to send to both our community and our police department?
Well, I think the first message we need to send right now is that people are hurting. People are really hurting, and for very legitimate reasons. I've been very direct in saying, you know, as a black man, it's hard for me to process what's happening. It is hard to have these images out there. It is very difficult to see the recent video that came out in Brooklyn, which refuted what was being said by the officials and the officers there in terms of what happened. And so first is we have to acknowledge the pain and acknowledge that the pain has been building up for not just a year and a few years, but for decades. And that we have to create better conditions on the ground for people to have jobs and educational opportunities, but then we have to also realize that when wrongs happen, that it has to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The only way people will feel that something changes is if justice has action and that we have laws that actually changes with that. But then we have to build it together. So whether the community and the police department, we have to find a way to come together to figure out, you know what, enough is enough on both sides. We have to make sure that people are uniting as one. The only way we're going to be able to make kind of true progress is by understanding that. We recognize that most people are doing the right thing, but for those that are not, this is our time to say, you know, enough is enough, and let's move on together. There's enough pain, there's enough heartache that is out there, but I am convinced all the things that have happened in our history have prepared us to be able to turn things around in a positive direction. That's why we're going to take a very active move for anyone that wants to join us, community, police officers, elected officials, whomever, as we're engaging with the New Leaders Council, as we're engaging with American State Legislators for Gun Violence Prevention, as we're engaging with My Brother's Keeper Alliance. Call our office, 718-538-3829, 718-538-3829, or follow us on Twitter, Mr. Mike Blake, on Facebook, to find out about the upcoming events and activations we're going to be doing throughout the weekend and beyond to keep this momentum going. We are not going to stop until we bring our community together.
Assemblyman, thank you so much. We praise you and thank you and applaud you for the work that you're doing in our community.
God bless you, Dr. Lee. You know, this is our time to come together. And for the families that have lost someone, again, our thoughts and prayers continue to be with you.
All right. Assemblyman Michael Blake from the 79th District.